Warning, this video contains rumors, speculation, strong opinions,
Welcome to MME Live. Are you ready for some madness, some movie madness? I tricked you all. We're just going to talk about the Snyder Cut for another freaking hour. Are you happy? No.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah,
Zito.
let's go.
Wait. No, I love this, but I need a break. I need a break because I know I'm going to be talking about it after it's released. Even though Darkseid is in the image, but I also was struggling. I'll be real. I had a shitty day at work. It sucked, like so bad that I was like this after work, and I just collapsed. I'm like, I hate my job. And then I had a great night with my wife and watching Wandavision, and we're gonna get into spoilers. And I'm just like, does it? If you look online, and I used to think, and I'll be honest, Snyder Cut fans are getting what they want. Should you listen to fans? That's a hard question. Actually, everyone answer that panel in the panel.
Well, like I said in the chat a little bit earlier, I think it's a mixed bag. Like, and at the end of the day,
most of the time, you shouldn't listen to fans. I think most of the time,
no, because we don't know what we want, or we have established headcanon how we think things should go.
Fans think they know what they want, but they really don't.
Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, you just sit back, relax, and let whoever's in charge of writing the story write the story.
And we'll get to the chat to see what they're saying in the chat. But really, are you serious? This is like the golden age. This is like when, for our generation, this is like when E.T. and Star Wars and stuff. For some of the stuff that's happening on streaming, and some of the things we're actually going to see, like we're going to see Darkseid. You're going to see Godzilla versus Kong, and I don't care what my father says. The first Godzilla versus Kong sucks. It sucks. Go to watch it right now. If you try to watch it, it's horrible. I mean, I respect it for its time, but it's balls. I'm sorry.
Can a movie where Godzilla or where King Kong shoves a tree in Godzilla's mouth really be that bad though?
Yes, it can. I watched it. Go look at the Asian actors in blackface and how bad the Kong costume looked. I mean, the Godzilla looked okay. The Kong costume looked horrible in there. I mean, if there's ever a remake that needed to happen, it's Kong versus Godzilla. Could the CGI look better? Yeah, unfortunately, but that's the market. And that's why
the CGI looks pretty great compared to like the other monster movies. I feel like it's a big step up.
CGI has gotten worse since Avatar. No one pushes it because everyone understands the industry. The general public doesn't care about quality. They just want to be entertained. They want humor. They like action, fast action. I'm sorry, the general consumer, just like the argument with where Zeno is about, I'll mention the Snyder Cut in this way, the aspect ratio. You're actually getting a better image. But people just don't. They just like what they like. I also struggle. I know in my mind, I'm like, I'm getting the full image. This is a better experience. But I kind of just want to see it fill the whole screen. I'll be honest with you. I mean, we're weird. People are weird.
Yeah.
You're actually getting much more image in a better image the way it is presented. But I kind of just want it to fill the whole screen.
Yeah, especially at like a big old 4K TV. It's like, man, it's like I feel like I'm missing something. It's like my eyes just can't process it naturally.
Okay. So here's Joshua Tika. You got the Phantom there. The real killjoys of entertainment. Wokeness ain't going anywhere anytime. I added a little bit there. It's not. I mean, it's going to be a part of the conversation. And you listen. If you're against woke, do some better content that's not woke. And counteract it. And I'll be honest, there's a lot of people saying they are, but I think the proof's in the pudding. It's just not there all the time. I'm not saying everything anti-woke or just about the content itself is horrible, but you're lying if you say everything woke is horrible. Go woke, go broke.
Their definition of woke though, because there's like what's woke to one person's technically subjective.
Pushing politics of wokeness ahead of storytelling, which does happen. But they also search it out for anything woke and try to say it ruins the story. And
I'm going to say 9 times out of 10 on that one, it's overblown.
Oh yes, 9 times out of 10, yes.
I mean, it's there, but it's like, is it really that bad?
No, I don't think so. I mean, occasionally it could jump the shark. At one time, I thought The Last Jedi did. But I think the majority of my argument, it still is that they just focused on the new woke characters ahead of Luke Skywalker and the, Han, Luke, and Leia at the time. Like, they focused on that ahead of that. I think that's where woke did go broke, just in the story development. Because if you didn't focus on Rose Tico and all those characters, you could have had more time with Luke and Rey and stuff. It just was, I mean, everything else, it's small potatoes. There's nothing like everything that's outrage about woke. There's just little there. Batwoman should be woke. I'm sorry. Like who?
Well, no. I mean, like I said the other night, it's Star Trek, man. That show was woke for the '60s,
right?
Like, and
first interracial kiss, all that.
Yeah, it's been ahead of the time. So it's really funny to see these Star Trek fans, with quotation marks, going off about it, because I mean, like the show Discovery was one of the cornerstones of the Menace.
Yes.
So it's like,
I still gotta watch. I still want to watch. I still haven't watched even one season, and I bought the first season on Steelbook.
It's not too bad. Like I said, once you get into the second and third season, it's pretty decent.
Yeah, I just got Paramount Plus, so I'll be interested to check out the new
Star
Trek shows. Yeah.
Paramount Plus is awesome, man. They've got tons of movies.
So Paramount Plus is kind of merged with CBS All Access.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's basically a name change, and like they're gonna add content.
Is the price higher?
No, it's the same.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I got a deal because they're doing a promotion where if you type in like a promotional code, you got like 1 year for half off. So I got a full year for $50.
Wow. Can you send me that if you still have that? I might do it. That's a good deal.
Oh, it's got tons of Paramount movies,
the promo code, if you have it, I might do. If I could get a whole year for $50, I might do that.
Yeah, it's got all 3 of the Godfather movies. I mean, come on.
Here's Zeno saying it all sucks, every last bit of it. No, it doesn't, Zeno. I mean, it's got the MC. I know you like the MCU. I mean, can you imagine the stuff we're getting to see? Oh man, that's Scarlet Witch tonight. Woo!
That costume is just incredible.
I know. I turned to my wife and I'm like, that is sexy. I'm sorry. I was like, wow. I mean, that's not the only reason it rocked, that scene, because she was representing Scarlet Witch and she's like full form Scarlet Witch. Like, I'm embraced it completely. Hey, Saggy, does everything suck? Does everything really suck in entertainment right now? Or is this the best? Is this a golden age in entertainment? That's the topic for today. I mean, or we could talk about the Snyder Cut for another damn hour and have Zeno be real happy. And listen, I'm all about the Snyder Cut, but I'm like burnt out until after I see it. I'm like, I'm probably going to cover. Let's not lie. Even though I complain about it, I'm a typical YouTuber. I'm going to complain about it, but I'll probably talk. Look at that Darkseid.
First things first. Can we just appreciate Brian's fresh face right now?
Oh yeah, Brian, you're looking real fresh.
I got a job. I start on Monday, so I have to.
Awesome!
Congratulations!
Nice.
But yeah,
congrats, man.
Nobody.
That's a job, Dave.
Why does I have to be the one that points out when Brian gets a haircut, when Brian shaves his face? I'm the only one who ever notices these things.
What the hell am I supposed to say?
I don't know. You're looking fresh. You could say
you
I'm
don't
looking
tell
fresh.
that about me.
Well, your mask is looking extra shiny today.
Thank you.
Yeah, see, there you go.
Your
I was gonna say, hey, shoot Zod Rider a link, dude.
Extra Melanie today.
I appreciate that. I've been playing Final Fantasy VII today, so.
In Resident Justice, you're looking extra Kate Bishop.
Yes. This is the start of the rebrand as I get ready to launch my channel. It's commissioned artwork I got. So.
Oh,
nice.
Okay. I didn't know you did. Let me see yours. I need a new logo and stuff. I'll see what. I'll look at your stuff for sure.
You
right.
made that.
No. I commissioned it from another artist. I'm not talented of it.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought I heard.
Oh, I misunderstood. Sorry.
Look at
Sorry.
you getting all excited. What do you mean? We have Ryan. Ryan does graphic artwork. What do you mean?
Yeah, I know. And then I said, how much it's going to cost? He said, we'll talk. That means it's going to be expensive. I'm sorry, Ryan. Are you in the chat anywhere? I mean, he's professional. He deserves his cost, but I'm a cheap ass.
Cancel Ryan. He's overpriced. But no.
But Saggy, how are you doing? I had the worst day. You ever have a day where you come home from work and you just like curl up like the crying game? I was like, oh shit, I hate my job.
Would you come home and curl up in a ball? I was like, I hate it here.
Yeah. And then I was, I mean, but then me and my wife had a good night and we watched WandaVision, had a great dinner. And it put me in a better mood. And then I'll be okay until Monday morning. and then I'm like, oh God, it's Monday morning.
Must be nice.
Oh, why am I saying this to Brian when he just got a job? He's like, I just got a job. And I'm like, I hate my job.
All right.
It'd be like that. Everybody loves getting a job when they first start. Then you've been there for a while. And you're like, I hate it here.
I've been there forever too.
Give it about 6 months. Usually the test of if you're going to do it or not.
Thanks. So funny. The chat gets so excited when Saggy joins. They're always asking, "Where's Saggy? Where's Saggy?"
I know.
I had to wait. I had to get to a save point in my game. I was Twitch streaming. Y'all would know where I am if you follow me on Twitch. I was streaming for 5 hours.
I was struggling to find content tonight. I didn't know what to talk about. I was like, I was looking everywhere. I'm like, what do I talk about?
Yeah,
I mean, I could watch the. Listen, I watched the trailers for this. I watched the little teasers, but every one of my friends has already covered it. I've watched their streams, so I'd be bored covering it again. They did a great job. Sil, everyone, and here's Zeno. Everything sucks at all. Every last bit. No, Zeno. Everything's great. Brian's
everything is awesome.
Everything is awesome. And then we're going to talk about the slate of MCU. Reyes here. Rafael Cardona. Here he is. Although I'm not getting as many viewers, I'm not doing a hot take, but everything's great. And everyone, I appreciate you all supporting content where we say everything's gravy. Everything's, I mean, beyond what's happened with getting the cut released, just actually thinking that I'll see Darkseid on the screen, that we're getting these other Marvel heroes, She-Hulk's coming, Miss Marvel, Falcon Winter Soldier, Loki.
Roasted, I swear.
What, Miss Marvel?
Yeah, I have a feeling that there's going to be certain types on social media that are really going to hate that show.
Good. Trigger those fools. Would they watch it regardless? Even if it was aimed for them, would these assholes actually watch it? No, they wouldn't watch Miss Marvel.
Well, I'm excited for that show because it seems like it's gonna reboot the Inhumans, which thank God if it does, because that ABC IMAX show was horrible.
I never watched that one. Hey,
it's
Barcelona,
probably like one of the worst TV shows ever made. No joke.
Someone tweet at the lounge. They're on a road trip, and Enosh and I thought I was going to have a guest appearance from Enosh and Dawson. They're like, we might show up, and then I don't know what they need to film a whole movie, the Dawson and Enosh road trip.
Wasn't that what they're doing basically?
They're on the road right now.
Yeah,
they're
live.
filming. Yeah.
I say they're not going to be able. Their wives aren't going to be able to separate them. They're like linked at the hip.
Right. Dawson comes home. He's like, "Listen, I love you, and I know I married you, but I think I'm gonna marry Enosh instead. So we're gonna have to get started on that divorce proceedings. I need to sign the paperwork." So
no, they'll just all move into the lounge.
Okay, I was gonna make a horrible Brokeback Mountain joke, but I'll save it.
Oh,
I think you just made it. I think it counts.
Hey, he got the hat. I saw the hat in the car. Zeno said fans got their Snyder Cut, but they got greedy. No, we just get what we want. We just want. Listen, Zeno, I'll put it into perspective that you can understand. If you're into the MCU, and they just said they actually listened to the Phantom Menace. Oh, Brie Larson, we're not going to finish your Captain Marvel arc. We'll just move on to another character. No, that's all the Snyder Cut fans want is they want to get their actors to finish their arc, which the MCU does. WB is just like, let's just move on. Nothing to see here. We're all fine here. Han Solo. We're all fine here. Nothing to see. Are you finishing Man of Steel? Black, but hey, Black Superman. And I'm not against Black Superman, but hey, what about Henry Cavill? Well, here's Black Superman. What? That's not what I mean. Oh, what were you gonna say, Resident?
Well, I was gonna say, it's like, can you even blame the Snyder Cut fans from being greedy? I mean, when you read those storyboards and see the Jim Lee artwork, I'm like, man, I would love to see that.
Mm-hmm. Here's case in point. Thank you, Raya. Raya. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name.
Raya.
Raya. Zod Rider, you could be in here. Didn't I send you a link?
I was gonna say, send him a link. He asked earlier.
Oh, I did. I forgot to send him a link.
But as for topics and stuff, so what did everybody think of WandaVision? If you've seen it?
Oh my God, did you see it, Saggy?
No, I don't have Disney Plus.
Oh wow, you need to get Disney Plus.
I'm not getting Disney Plus.
Oh wow. Oh, is it because of Disney thing? You're upset with Disney?
Yeah, I'm not going to give them any more money than I've already had.
All right.
Meanwhile,
see it
I'm
any way
over
you
here
can.
dropping $30 on Raya and the Last Dragon.
The only
money I have to. I'm doing that tomorrow, Resident Justice.
The only money I've spent on Disney in the last few weeks has been to put in for my mystery package for my giveaway coming up. So I spent money on Disney stuff to give it to people who actually want it, and that's the only time they get my money. It's for other. I'm giving it to other people.
Oh, hey, here's Naked Lex. Hey, Rel, Zod. They're up to like 3.5K already.
Dang.
Yeah.
What the heck?
And I think I'm gonna help them with the stream tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern time, watching a Rush documentary on their channel live stream.
Oh, nice. That's a good doc.
I listen, I know of Rush. I've never gotten into Rush, so I'm thinking it'll be great. It'll be more interesting for me, I think, because
easily in my top 5 bands, man. Easily in my top 5.
Rush.
Hey, Zod Rider. We're not talking about the Snyder Cut. No, I'm just kidding. Zod, whoa, you're representing today. Look at that hat and the shirt.
Yeah.
Are you just gonna wear it every day until it comes out?
Every day, and I'm not even gonna shower.
You should.
There you go.
You should keep track of that. You should be like each day give an update.
Well, there's only 12 days until the movie comes out. So we're almost there. So it won't be long now. Now I've got a different shirt to wear for when the day comes. I've actually got it pressed and in my closet. So I'm ready. I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
Okay, here reply to Zeno real quick. This is a comment for you, Zod.
Well, I don't think we got greedy. I just think we want what's coming to us.
We want to see their art.
We just want the conclusion. We just want what we were promised.
I want the Snyder Cut, and then after Snyder Cut, I want the keys to Zack Snyder's house. I want the deed to his cars. I want his social security number. I want his wife. I want it all.
What the hell?
What?
Why do you want all that?
Because we're getting greedy up in here.
No. I just want to
actually.
Go ahead, Zerza.
No, I was gonna say I have a question. Like, would Snyder Cut fans be like okay if the rest of the arc got continues like an animated movie, like as a comic book, or would you guys like rather be like a real movie?
No, either a movie or nothing else. You gotta give us what Zach started, and I think Zach wants to give that to us, which is why he's ending this movie on a massive cliffhanger.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't pack that back in after that's released.
Can I do a side note? Because the chat seems very there's some division about WandaVision, and I'm just gonna say on that.
Okay.
I watched the first.
Barker, are you trying to trigger me or something?
I watched the first 2 episodes of WandaVision when I was at somebody's house who did have Disney Plus. But however, I will say if you guys liked the House of M, the story, the House of M, which is basically what WandaVision is in its own way, then you can understand WandaVision and you can enjoy it. But for people who are crying about it being it's a emotional, I'm like, if you read the House of M comic, you would get it. So stop crying.
Well, what the hell, Christopher Barker? Look what he's saying about Zod. Zod looks fresh today.
No, I showered today. I mean, I'm just talking about,
Yeah, Chubby Teddy, the Rush documentary is. But listen, honest question for since Saggy and Zod just joined the chat. Honestly, do you believe the trolls, or does everything really suck according to internet and social media? Like if you listen to everyone that just hates on everything, or is this the best time in entertainment? One of the best times. I know, like when the OG Star Wars, Indiana Jones, E.T. and all that came out.
Well, I will tell you this, Max. I am more excited for the Snyder Cut than I have been for any other movie my entire life.
Matt Jarbo.
So,
I always invite Matt Jarbo.
I'm just kidding.
Listen, he was here before most of you, except Brian, maybe.
I was on this earth before you.
I mean, he's one of my first guests on a live stream, Matt.
I'm messing with you, but no.
I wish somebody could explain to me, because Christopher Barker here says Zack Snyder is a hack. What does that even mean? When you
he's
say
just
Zack
trying,
Snyder's
he's just throwing heat in the chat.
What does that even mean? Really? When people say that, what are they even talking about?
Well, I know Matt's busy tonight too, so I want to get his reaction first to the question. Do you think this is one of the best eras of entertainment, similar to like when like Spielberg and Lucas and all those great films came out with if you factor in the streaming and the things we're getting to see on screen that we never thought we would? I mean, if you listen to the internet and Twitter, everything sucks. But I mean, look at this. Darkseid and wow, Wanda, the Scarlet Witch, Luke Skywalker returning in Mandalorian, Kong versus Godzilla, that Vision battle.
This is a new golden age for people that are fans of this kind of stuff.
Matt, what's your take? Are you happy? I mean, there's still little. Okay.
Yeah, no,
okay.
I mean, like who couldn't be happy? You know what I mean? Like there's
a lot of people, unfortunately.
Well, a lot of people just need to get laid is really what it boils down to.
Amen. I agree with you on that, Mr. Jarbo. Yes,
they just need to get some and or get over it. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. If you listen to the internet, especially over the finale of WandaVision, people got so worked up over their own fan theories that when it didn't come true, they think that the quality of the show was crap because they were disappointed.
Yep.
And that's what a lot of people do. They set themselves up in their mind for something to be one way, and then when it doesn't pan out, then it's automatically garbage.
Oh man, I can't wait for March 18th because it's going to happen again.
I don't know. I don't know. If you're in the know about the Snyder Cut and you've been following since the movement started,
I'm in the know. I get it, but
you shouldn't be. Then the people that are the ones that are going to be complaining are, who's going to be complaining? The ones who thought that it was just an extended version of the theatrical cut. Those are the people.
I'll tell you what.
Guess what though? That's actually to some extent actually true. And if you let me explain, I'll explain it.
Cool. Explain.
So it's not the same. It's not Justice League 100%, but it's going to follow very similar beat points. It's going to follow very similar set pieces, and it's a lot of very, very similar things. And this is the reason is because Joss built off of what Zack already did, and he altered things based around what Zack had already done. So for the last 3 years, people, when they think back to that terrible movie, are going to think back to that terrible movie. And when they see this, there's going to be so many little moments that are going to go, wait a minute, like I've seen this before. And I'm telling you, there are people that have thought that are treating this movie like it is literally the second coming of Christ. And if they don't prepare themselves for what's going to be a good movie, but maybe not as big as the second coming of Christ, it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
I think it's still the second coming, but I will say this, not giving the consumer the option, you're going to have, listen, they're going to be in more trouble if we don't get a sequel. They're going to be in more trouble. No, I just mean even the aspect ratio thing. The general public doesn't care about great quality special effects. They just want to be. As much as they say they hate Joss Whedon, they like those cringy Joss Whedon jokes in a superhero film. I think I respect Zack sticking to his vision. But I think if they should,
I mean,
I
did
will
the
watch
general
the
audience
aspect.
like those jokes though? Because the movie bombed, and like
No, but they liked it in
People did not
Avengers
like
1 and
it.
2, though. They liked it in Avengers 1 and 2, and it's the
Well,
same
it was a little
similar
better
stuff.
though. Like Justice League felt
But,
like
but
it was like, you know.
I'm just saying the general public, though, they're going to say, they're still going to complain about the aspect ratio, unfortunately. And listen, Zod, I understand we're getting more with this aspect ratio. But if you just give the consumer the option, they're just going to complain about that. There's some people that are going to like Justice League just because it fills their screen. Unfortunately, that's in the world we are. People don't know quality.
You are right about that, unfortunately, but
right.
That's the whole point. The thing is, this movie is gonna have to not just be a movie, it's gonna have to be a freaking institution. So the idea of, the second coming of Christ is not far off, honestly. I mean, you're expecting something on the level of hype that's never before been seen in the history of film. So, of course, this kind of thing only happens once in a great while. And, the Snyder Cut is setting a precedent. So we'll see what happens. I mean, because if Wonder Woman 84 was a hit, when the Snyder Cut tanks HBO Max's servers, I think they'll have the message that they need.
Oh,
I hope that it does. I hope that it does. I hope that it crashes everything. But I'm also going to come at this from the most realistic, pragmatic approach based upon what I see and how the industry operates. Mm-hmm. And look, I want a sequel. I want 3 sequels. I want as much as they're willing to give me. But at the same time, they have to go through now Toby Emmerich to get it done. And Emmerich is overseeing HBO Max's original work. So unless Kilar steps in and drops $300 million for this project to continue,
but is not the best part of it, Matt, that AT&T is overseeing everything. So AT&T is going to see the numbers. They're not going to be able to fudge the numbers. They're not going to be able to lie about, Snyder Cut only did this. There's no interest. If the Snyder Cut breaks everything, they're going to see it. If the Snyder Cut is more engaging and more people watch it than Wonder Woman 84, and it blows Wonder Woman 84's numbers away, Warner Brothers can complain. Toby can complain all he wants, but AT&T is going to move ahead because that's where the money's going to be.
Well, see, but it's not just the streaming numbers; those play a factor into it. What's also going to be is the Batman v Superman, the updated version that's coming out. Is that going to end up selling well?
Because they're putting that on HBO Max as well on the 23rd.
Yeah. But I'm buying the 4th.
I'm buying it too. I pre-ordered it. How many other Snyder Cut fans pre-ordered it? I mean, this movie, Batman v Superman Ultimate Edition, as it stands, is one of the best-selling Blu-rays of all time.
Somebody tried arguing that against me the other day. They're like, it didn't do that well. 823. Thank you very much.
Yeah, look at this. Look at this, Matt. He agrees with you. But I don't think there's not going to be a
finally Paul sees reason. Jesus, I've been waiting for months for Paul to see reason.
I don't know why Paul. I don't know why you watch my channel. Hi, Paul.
Stick with me, kid. I'll take you places.
No, well, listen, I think
he'll take you to Uber Eats, y'all.
Somehow I intended not to talk about Snyder Cut, but we're talking about Snyder Cut again.
Well, can I just say?
Okay, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, overall, can we just appreciate the fact that all of these movie projects are still getting done during a pandemic when everything was shut down for one time and people were freaking out? Can we just appreciate all the hard work that is going into making these movies, not just as far as the actors, but the production, the staff, the crew? Can we just appreciate those people too? So I would say, to answer your question, I would say this probably would be a golden period for all of these projects because they're doing a lot. And they're doing it in the worst possible time to be trying to do it, and they're still getting it done. So I would say, it is a good time for entertainment right now.
It's one of the best times.
It's the best times.
There hasn't been this much fruitful product.
Well, not only that, you have to remember too, Max. A lot of people who maybe have not had Disney Plus or all these things that they watch because of the pandemic, now they're stuck there. They got Disney Plus and stuff because they're checking out these shows. So it's a great time for all these things to happen. You're getting new fans. You're getting new fans out of them.
But they still say everything sucks.
Yes.
So, I mean, it's like.
Well, back to Halogen Helix here. Don't subscribe to this guy. No. I'm just kidding. Paul has his right to his own opinion. Okay. But I'm just joking with you, Paul. Whatever. Thanks for watching. Hi.
Listen,
Hi, Paul.
It's a
but I'm
small
just gonna
step.
say this. I think there's more likely that it would be more beneficial in green light to sequel is if it's a series and not a film. Like I think Zack Snyder has the plan. He could just film season 2 and 3, those 2 films, and have 2 series for HBO Max, and that would be. Then you could justify $300 million. Film it all back to back when all those actors are together, and do 2 seasons, and then complete the whole thing. That's what I.
And he's laying the groundwork for it too.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the 6 chapters, it's no longer 4 chapters; it's 6 chapters.
Mm-hmm.
So like that's something that's fascinating because that's how he's breaking it up, is chapter by chapter.
Because a big film that costs $300 million, suddenly 2 seasons filmed back to back with all the actors there at once, and then you could justify that cost a lot better. And I mean that would be a great topic, Matt, too. What's gonna if it does continue? What would be more likely, an actual film sequel or series for HBO Max?
I think a series would probably end up being it, because you can actually stretch the budget a lot further with a television series.
Mm-hmm.
So they just write it for that. I mean, look at Game of Thrones. Like Game of Thrones looked movie quality, and it was about $6 million an episode up until season 7 and 8 when it went to $10 million an episode.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last season was garbage.
I'm going to revisit it. I thought so too at the time, but I'm going to revisit it.
No. The reason why it was garbage is because there were still so many unanswered things, and there were so many things that weren't confirmed for me. And there was they gave a character redemption only to have him shit on it immediately after. It was just a whole bunch of bullcrap, and I don't think that they ended it the way. Even the actors didn't like how it ended. The actors were even sitting there like, "This is so stupid." The guy who played was it Tyrion? Friggin' Peter Dinklage. He even said, he's like, imagine he's one of the smartest characters in the show. And when these ghosts, these people are attacking, they tell him to hide in the crypt. When these dudes, they know these dudes can resurrect the dead, so they put all the women and children in a crypt with a bunch of dead bodies that can be reanimated. Dumbest thing ever. And I agree with it. Let's not even get into this last season.
Andrew and Jordan, I will let you on towards the end of the show, but this time I want you to have a movie top question related to entertainment. I'll bring you on and then take you off for your 5-minute question. So I'll send you links towards the end of the show. Yeah, I'm happy. I'm so happy. My only caveat to WandaVision was it was just the CG of the Vision battle. Oh, spoilers. Sorry, Saggy. But the Vision scene, I think the CGI could have been better.
I don't care about spoilers, by the way.
But other than that, wow, Scarlet Witch. Wow.
Yeah, I here's what I'll say. Okay, I have no issue with what they did with Evan Peters. I know that's a major sticking point for a lot of people. I don't know. Did anyone else feel like the episode was just very fast paced a little bit? I feel like, man, it's just they're really doing a lot for this 40 minutes.
Yeah, they went all out for the last one for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I just wish maybe if they just can't. I don't mind it him not being Quicksilver, if that makes sense. I'm fine with that. I just don't know if I would have played it off as much of a big joke as they made it, if that makes sense. Because it really, it's kind of like a big middle finger.
I mean, I'll be honest. I wanted to see it too, but I understand.
And I can explain this. So if you go back to episode 6, when they're in the Halloween episode and it's the town square and they're talking, we know that's. I don't want to ruin it if people haven't seen it yet, but we know who's behind it, and that's the whole questioning of everything is about more or less it's the whole show's about grief and trauma and how we trick ourselves. And how we lie to ourselves, and we'll accept anything if it can get us away from the pain. You know what I mean?
Right.
There was so much in those last couple episodes about that it just it really spoke to it. So it's the people that are looking at it from the high concept approach. And I'm sorry it's loud. I'm on the freeway. I'll log off here in a second. But the people who are looking at it from the high concept
we're missing the deeper, understated themes that were really touching upon what the show really was. And it's like, that's been my thing. Is I did a video today called Expectation versus Reality, and how WandaVision is an unreliable narrator. And I explained how the show worked and how
I didn't see a video yet.
Yeah, so like the media, the media, it chose everything and pushed everything, and people jumped on it and they ran with their own theories, and then from there they got disappointed, but they set themselves up for disappointing because the show messes with you from the start. You know, there's a line in the last episode where even Hayward goes, you know, the show's been canceled. Wanda took it off the air. So it's like the reality that they know is supposed to be it's a whole thing. But it's there's a lot to discuss there that I can't do from in my car while
I think we lost him for a second. What's going on?
Okay. Yeah. I'm just gonna tap out, but I'll chit chat with you guys all later.
Oh well, thanks for joining us, Matt. Well, I'll go check out Matt's video. That's an interesting topic for a video. I'll check that out later.
No, you should look at my thumbnail was awesome. I'm just saying I like that thumbnail a lot.
It was a good one. I totally agree.
Appreciate it. Thank you guys. I'll talk to you.
All right, cool.
But no, that's kind of what I was talking about with my whole like speculation kind of ruining fandom. Like I think the whole business of speculation has gotten completely and totally out of hand, and WandaVision is the most recent experience of it because, like Matt said, I mean, they would grab a hold of the smallest little thing like a damn toaster and, you know, write an entire head narrative about it. So when nothing came of it other than it being a commercial, which like loosely tied into, you know, her upbringing. Other than that, like, oh my God, it's going to be Mephisto. It's like, dude, if I had a nickel for every time or had to take a shot every time one of those guys said he's going to be in there. Hell, I've even said it. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm no innocent either, but I'm just like,
well, I know I'm in the minority. I know I'm in the minority on this panel because I haven't seen past episode 2 of WandaVision.
Oh, you need to see it.
And I'm happy with that because WandaVision just didn't grab me. I could care
everything
less.
sucks.
So I don't think everything sucks, but I just, to me, WandaVision just wasn't my cup of tea.
Well, does that grab you? Does that picture grab you right there on the left with Scarlet Witch?
No, well, you know what? Darkseid's looking really good right now, bro.
Yeah, I mean that's what you go for. Okay, yeah, Darkseid does look. He looks jacked. Yeah. Well, here's an image, and I'm going to bring Jordan on for a question. I told him to prepare. Jordan, I know you're in the back room. When I bring people on that aren't part of the main panel, I want you to do a movie topic question for the panel, and then we'll get to the next person that wants to join in. And then message me on Twitter if you want to join in for a question. So look at that. I didn't even realize the work they did. Look at that. Look, let me make this bigger on Twitter. Hold on.
Yeah, I figured they would fix it.
That's a fantastic improvement.
It looks even better. I mean, it didn't look bad there either, but look at that.
But see, that's what happens when you actually get the time to finish the visual effects.
For sure. Let me check Twitter here. All right, so we'll bring on Jordan to hopefully he has a question prepared for the panel. All right, Jordan, do you have a question for Movie Madness Live? Okay.
Yeah, I have something prepared.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so it's about WandaVision.
All right.
So first, Wanda's suit, when I first saw it, it reminded me a little bit of Magneto from X-Men Apocalypse.
Yeah.
And 2, when I saw White Vision, I knew it was from the comics, but I had it's about the theory. I was hoping it would be Ultron because it would have been so cool to see Ultron when White Vision grabbed Wanda's head. He would have been like, "There's no strings on me." Like that would have been really cool.
Okay.
And the other part that that joke they made about Pietro's real name, I didn't know Disney would make that joke. even though it was very minor. And the part where White Vision flew off, I was kind of confused and annoyed because he was just like, I'm the real Vision. And he just he just like flew up into the air and we have no idea where he is. And they didn't even show a post-credit scene of where he is now. So I'm just confused.
That was part of my issue as well. I feel like if the episode was a tad bit longer, it could have like fleshed out a couple of those details a little bit more. But I mean, I have to assume it's gonna get resolved in future movies and stuff. Like this is not the end of the story, obviously.
Yeah, you're gonna get breadcrumbs before you get a piece of a sandwich. So it's.
But you know what? That's like
I've never heard anyone say that before. But okay.
Yeah. I like sandwiches.
That's the genius thing about the show, though. I feel like they're constructing it in a way where it's like stuff happened, but people like Saggy and Zod, who really didn't watch the show, if they watch Doctor Strange or Spider-Man, they're not going to be lost either, which is a good thing.
That would. I didn't even think about the Ultron angle. That would be really interesting if they kind of alluded to him possibly coming back or even part of Ultron still, because Avengers 2, I mean, he's gone, but is he really gone? I don't know. That would have been interesting. I like the White Vision. I don't know much about the White Vision, except for the Avengers arcade game I used to play.
I'm pretty sure he was in a West Coast Avengers comic. I think that's what I remember.
Well, when episode 7 came out and everybody started, spinning up more and more theories, I was just like, guys, we need to pump the brakes on this. Like, seriously, just slow down, because you're just setting yourself up for disappointment. And to be perfectly honest, a lot of people did. And
it doesn't help though when Paul Bettany trolls the fans as much as he did.
It's not his fault people took him seriously.
I mean, would you know what I mean?
But they have to be a little careful sometimes.
But
hey, Brian, I got a question.
Yes, sir.
Is Mephisto, he's the guy from Ghost Rider, right? The person who
yeah,
okay.
Yeah. But
isn't he supposed to be in Multiverse of Madness? Doctor Strange?
Hey, you know what? I'm gonna wait till it comes out.
Okay.
That's my philosophy too.
I think from now on, I'm just gonna react. No more speculation.
Yeah.
If I can avoid it, because let's be honest, it tends to ruin more than it actually. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's fun, but I'm also of the opinion that it's kind of an addiction, and it feels good when you're doing it.
People are already saying Falcon Winter Soldier is going to set up the Thunderbolts and Red Hulk and Eli Bradley. I'm like, I'm going in just hoping I get a good story. I'm not worrying about this anymore.
Well, I feel bad. We have Saggy and Zod on, and they haven't seen it.
Saggy, I'm not worried. I could
care less. You should listen to Tyrone Magnus. He said it starts off campy, but you'll start to like it the more you watch it, because it's building up and gets more interesting. So that's what I like about how it ended, because I understand that it's not supposed to like answer all our questions. It's like building up to like the next big thing. So that's what I like about it.
Yeah.
Oh, here's Zeno. Listen, Zeno, you're the one bringing up Snyder Cut stuff. Bringing up Ray. Apparently Zeno wants to talk about Ray Fisher. Holier than thou. I mean, where do you get this man? Because he wants people to be respected in the community, in at their jobs, and not have to deal with bullshit. That's not holier than thou. That's like general respect for other workers and human beings. I don't think that's holier than thou. Like you shouldn't you shouldn't be in a toxic environment. And yes, I use the word toxic. Come on, we all know the Joss Whedon film set was toxic, right? Okay. We're all friends with
Zeno. Zeno, I have a question for you, man. Did you like the 2017 version of Justice League?
I just watched it today.
Justice League.
I just watched it today.
Oh, he asked me a question.
How dare you, Max?
Asked me a question.
Okay.
Why is Saggy against all those new productions? What productions am I against? I'm not against any. I have to say, out of everyone that talks about movie stuff, I am the least that hard critic. I was the one who everyone said you need to watch Justice League so you could be part of these conversations. And then when you guys asked me if I like Justice League, and I said yes, it was a big whole like, whoa, wait a minute. I am the least that harsh of a critic to these productions than anybody else. I like them for what they are. I can respect them for what they are. I have my likes and dislikes, but I don't think that they're all like garbage. I'm not, against the production. I'm against people in the production that treat other people like dog crap. And then you have people who are forgetting that these are people behind the cameras and not respecting them. That's the main issue I have. That's what I'm against.
All right.
Yeah,
these are still people.
He just clarified and said he meant Disney Plus. Like, why do you not like Disney Productions?
Oh, Disney Productions? Well, Disney Productions, I mean, I think Disney's garbage as a company. I think we've already talked about this. I think Disney has a lot of dirt that they need to clean up.
They all do.
They all do.
Why watch anything?
Right, but at the same time, it's my money. I can decide what I want to spend it on.
True.
If I don't want to support Disney by giving them my money every month, then I'm not going to do it. If I have to sacrifice not watching WandaVision because of it, then so be it.
Oh, Rhea, I wasn't as disappointed leaving movie theater after Justice League since I saw that Spirit of the Earth Power. Yes, Rhea.
My God,
I feel you. Yes.
I'm so mad.
No, you're right. Justice
that was awesome.
Doesn't have anything on Last Airbender.
Rhea's awesome. Oh my God.
Listen,
Rhea, do you like Korra better than Airbender? I like Korra. I think I might. I don't know.
Korra is a home wrecker.
I hated Legends of Korra.
I'm sorry, but Korra is like the biggest home wrecker ever.
The Legend of Korra was an avatar that did nothing but complain about being the avatar for the entire time.
Okay, here's Paul throwing these recycled talking points from the corner, talking about Ray wanting a barber to be respected. Yes. Well, there is an argument to say if he got the actual clearance for the barber to be on there, but asking someone to get credit for their work is not a bad thing. And I'm not minimalizing just because this is going back to the Bray Fisher barber talk, respecting them or their barber.
What was the Bray Fisher barber talk? What was that?
Yeah, I don't know about that.
There was an article where I think Vanity Fair.
We're going way back here.
I mean, this is the recycled talking points from
you almost need the way back machine on the internet to bring this one up. I mean, come on.
Right, but they were saying Ray was a diva because basically the article and the reporter asked for instances where minorities aren't getting proper credit for their work in Hollywood. So he shared the story about his barber. So he was going into the conversation, and then people were like, oh, this is why Ray Fisher had a toxic work environment because his barber didn't get credit, like gaslighting and acting like he's a clown.
His barber didn't get credit for being part of the hair production?
Right.
Yeah, why is that big? Why is that a huge deal that people are mad that he called it out? If you do work on a production and you're not credited for it, and he wants to.
Well, Paul. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Well, no, it makes no sense that you're ridiculing him for wanting somebody who worked as part of. He got paid to do the job. Why didn't he get credited for it?
Hashtag context matters. They were asking for examples where minorities didn't get credit for the work. Oh man, he's woke. He wants people to get credit for their work and not be harassed at the job
because he didn't give them the views. That is why they're upset. Okay, let's cut the BS and get down to the plain facts.
Well, he says haven't heard anything.
He came out with his allegations, and certain people on the internet wanted him to come on their channels to tell the story, and he said no. From that moment on, they were like, "Oh my God, what a diva! Oh my God, yay Fisher!" It's like, you know what, dude? It just your saltiness never ceases. It's like worse than the Pacific Ocean.
Well, my thing is like caterers who cater for the set. Caterers get credit too. Everybody should get credit.
Well,
if you work on a production, everyone should get credit. Why?
No matter how small, even if you think hairdressing is silly,
they literally have unions that's their job.
Yeah.
is to make sure that they get credit for that sort of stuff.
Right,
So,
right. And that's publicity for that barber to get more people so he can get more money to cut people's hair. That's credibility. Why would you make fun of somebody wanting to give credit where it's due?
Mm-hmm. I mean, but this is like mocking him because he asked for people to get credit for their work and not be harassed on the job. Oh my God, he's so woke.
Paul,
he's so liberal.
If you got a chance to work on a major production and it was down to cutting somebody's hair, wouldn't you want to get credit for that? Wouldn't you be like, hey, I cut that dude's hair? Like...
Oh, okay.
No, I just said that you.
Well, you're bringing it up, Paul. You did bring it up.
Yeah, I mean, you're the one that keeps bringing it up, but I'm just explaining to you.
He brought it up and ridiculed a little too, and I'm just sitting here in the
so
maybe you're like
dude is throwing shade, and then he's getting upset when he's getting responded to. That makes no sense.
Yeah, according to who? According to your sources? Sources. I mean, all sources. Listen, my viewpoint is everyone's full of shit, especially on the internet, begging for funds. I'm sorry. I have good sources. Patreon. You have an interrupting robot for $20. Get the F out of here. Your sources are just as bad as everyone else. It's all a scam. Go here.
Well, here's my thing. If he wasn't
according
officially
to popcorn sources.
If he wasn't officially
popcorn sources.
Well, no, if he wasn't officially part of the production.
Talk about salty.
No, if he wasn't officially part of the production,
caramel
and
too.
Ray was trying to get him to be part of that, why is that a big deal? He wanted credit to be due. I just don't see why it's a big deal.
It's just Hollywood politics crap. It's like, oh, you want to go to a barber that's not our official one, so therefore that's you being a diva. Like, who cares?
That's his whole argument that he didn't get credit. Oh, you're saying according to the production, that was his argument. He didn't get credit.
And
I mean, you don't know.
Just to add to that, Max. Just to add to that, Zack Snyder is giving that barber credit in the Snyder Cut. Oh,
my mouse is wet. God damn it, Paul. Well, where the hell did my mouse go? I can't even minimize myself. Hold on. Maggie, on the show. I gotta get some paper.
Wow.
Just tip it upside down. Get a bit of rice.
For real.
Paul made him drop his water. Holy shit.
I wouldn't say triggered, but like, dude, seriously, why is this still an issue? Like, who the hell cares?
Because Brian, think about it this way: Ray Fisher said that he talked to Zack Snyder about it, and Zack Snyder is going to give the barber credit in the Snyder Cut credits. Yeah. So it's been resolved. So why does it keep getting brought up?
It's because it's the one thing that those particular individuals have, against it. Like I said, they got snubbed, so their whole, and not only that, but their Warner shills. I mean, let's get to the facts here, guys. But no, it's just like I said. Why still be upset about it is beyond me, and that's why I'm like, I'm not triggered. I'm just laughing.
All right, I cleaned up.
Everything all clean now, Max.
Everything going okay now.
My keyboard needed a cleaning. Yeah.
Oh my, yeah, it did. I'm sure it did, Max.
Oh, come on, now.
Keyboard, man.
Not like that.
Did you clean your keyboard, man?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, Paul.
He's got that McAfee.
No, what the hell are you talking about? I pay for virus protection. Why wouldn't you?
Hey Max, can I answer this question? He's saying my question is why isn't he still upset about it? Ray Fisher's not still upset about it.
You're minimalizing someone else's work. What do you do for movie production, Paul?
He's not upset about it because He talked to Zack Snyder, and Zack Snyder is giving that barber
Sci-Fi Dragon
credit.
back? Is this Sci-Fi Dragon?
Oh my god!
It's not freezing.
Sci-Fi, are you there, buddy? I miss Sci-Fi Dragon.
I don't.
Zod.
Oh,
We want him to come back for Godzilla versus
No,
Kong.
we don't.
Yes, we do. Remove Zod. Sci-Fi, if you're watching, don't we want Sci-Fi back for
I don't know who he is.
Brian.
I haven't seen. I know who he is.
Brian.
I haven't
I
seen him in a
told you
while.
what happened. I told you why he hasn't come back. I already know.
No, I mean,
what
but I know. No,
Wait,
he's
guys,
not,
I don't-
He's
I
not
don't
a
know what
Q
happened.
follower. He's not a Q follower.
Okay,
Wait,
so
what happened?
to answer Paul's question, why isn't he still upset about it? What makes you think he's not? He brought it up, which clearly is a reason why he was upset. Just because he's not still going on about it doesn't mean that he's still not upset.
He's not going on about it because Zack Snyder agreed to resolve it. He's giving the barber credit in the
So this is what you're Zeno. This is what you're minimalizing someone's work because they're a hairstylist. Someone
the
ordered
hairstylists deserve to get credit. Hairstylists get credit all the time. Watch the credits of any movie.
So
that's the problem with people today. They skip the credits of all the
They
movies.
do more
and
than
they
you.
don't
They
know
do
what-
more for
no,
you.
no,
So
no.
here's the argument here. The issue is that Ray Fisher, being in a position where he's actually doing something, wants to share that recognition and that clout, and he wants to give that clout to his hairdresser. And the issue is he's not allowed to because he wasn't part of the production. But the issue is he's trying to share his fandom and what he's doing with other people. His barber being somebody he probably has been frequent, which is probably why he wanted to go to that barber to do his hair instead of have somebody get paid through production to do it. And he wants to share that clout that he's getting to somebody else, and that's a problem.
Paul, if his work was any part of the movie, that's the whole argument. Should he been credited? That was what Vanity Fair was asking, and that's why Ray Fisher
I
shared
just don't see why this is an issue.
Yeah.
He wants to share the fandom with people he is close to. This barber is probably somebody who's close to him, has been cutting his hair for a
The
while.
barber did his hair on the set of the movie. The barber should be credited.
You don't know if he was some. You're listening to popcorn salty sources that have a bias. You don't know for sure that is. Listen, Popcorn Planet has been wrong about lots of things. And
Listen,
you can
I'm gonna just say,
you can tell Andy I said that.
I'm gonna just say this. If I ever was offered a movie deal, I have people specifically who I like to do my hair. And if I'm going to be part of a movie production, I want somebody who's familiar with my hair already and knows how my hair functions, on how to do it, what dyes I need in and stuff like that. I want that person to do my hair. I don't want them to hire someone because I want to be comfortable. So if I did that, of course I want my hairdresser to come up with me. If I ever get famous,
Joss
everybody goes
does
with
not
me.
listen. By
don't see
Joss
why
and
it's a
Jeff
deal.
comments in that executive room how they don't want an angry black man
But
in the
you're the
film.
one that- you're
Do you
the
think
one that
they
brought
do you
up the
think they know
article.
how to do their hair? I'm sorry.
Dude, you're the one that brought up the article, and now you're saying he didn't do his hair on the set. That's not confirmed. Why are you bringing it up? That's
I don't
exactly,
understand what he's been arguing
that
anymore.
was confirmed.
These are
about
talking
hair.
points from the corner, okay?
Wow.
These are popcorn points too.
Yeah, so it's like,
Yeah. This guy has no evidence.
Well, here's
What
my
is he
thing.
talking
It
about?
just seems like
You have sources. You don't know for
it just
sure
seems
everything.
like a stupid argument. It seems like a very, very one of the littlest things that people
I'm not
are
accusing
picking
him
at.
of anything but being a mouthpiece, dude. You're nothing, bro. Like, you're just talking for other people that aren't here right now.
Right. Listen, everyone should get credit for their work, and I'm sorry especially the production and the problems you have with now are they actual Aussies in that executive room? No, but there was some racism going on there. The way they talked about their black actors, their talent. We don't need an angry black. Do you think they understand a black man's hairstyle? Or they had some people on production. No wonder he brought his own. I mean, I'm not speaking for black people, but that's part of culture too.
Can I address something?
I'll speak for him.
Can I address something?
Yes.
Hold on, where'd it go? Lost Woods Dweller said, Max, everyone on their own channel has their own opinions. You're right. Everybody is entitled to their own opinions, and they do it on their own channels, and that's fair. But when you have people that'll watch multiple different channels with different opinions, and they come from one channel to the next to talk about the points that they had, watched on another channel, they clearly want to debate it, and that's fine. I personally am not going to say that Paul's not entitled to his opinion. He is. I just think,
but you don't know. I didn't say I was for sure. I don't know the whole story, but you're bias. You're exposing your bias really bad. Or I'm saying read the context of when Ray said it was because asking for people to get credit, and in his opinion, people should get credit for their work. And you don't know the whole. You're acting like you're an expert on the sources, and you don't know. I'm just giving a counterpoint to you. That matter. I'm saying I could be proven wrong. I'm not saying, but asking for credit, that's not a bad thing, and especially the context of he was responding to an article. He included his personal experience. That's all. All right, should we move on to another topic?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah. Oh, I have an idea.
This is really going nowhere.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Kong versus Godzilla.
Man, you have to get Godzilla back up to talk about that.
Oh.
Come on, sci-fi.
Oh, so
we need some sound effects.
I tried.
Yeah.
Godzilla really sound like that.
I could say the movie's gonna be like an hour and like 50 minutes or something, like an hour and 40.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be so upset if the majority of it is just human characters, because they already killed off like 3 of the best human characters. Both.
Adam Wingard said that the majority of the movie is going to be monster fights because Kong is going to be our connection. Like, we're going to see the movie through his eyes and his emotions. So you don't have to cut to humans for long periods in the movie. That's what he said.
Yeah, the only good human character I think is left is Madison. She's played by Millie Bobby Brown. Is because in the last movie she felt it looked like she was actually acting.
No
while
thanks.
Everyone else was.
I don't really want your opinion that much. I highlighted you're welcome to speak in my chat, but no thank you. Have a nice night.
So
Sorry.
Yeah, in the last movie, Millie Bobby Brown, her acting was actually really good. But that old guy, I didn't like the old guy. And the worst part is that he was in Get Out, and his performance was really good in Get Out. But in Godzilla King of the Monsters, he was just throwing these one-liners and terrible jokes and stuff. And so that's kind of, if they do that again, and I also want the fights to be in broad daylight too. Like, I know there's going to be one nighttime fight, but it's kind of hard to see when it's in nighttime. Even in the second one, when they added the rain and the blue color palette, it was still kind of hard to see.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
Let me get to the slate of. Hey Zod, how much you're really not into the MCU? Let's get your perspective here. You're just
Okay.
It just not doesn't do it for you. What have you seen? What are you actually? Is there anything you're actually looking forward to, or just doesn't intrigue you? You're just so focused on
I'll tell
DC.
you what. I'll give you one MCU thing that I'm really looking forward to. Spider-Man, because it's going to have Tobey Maguire, Tom Holland, and Andrew Garfield.
Xeno.
I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to do with that.
All right, I gotta address Xeno first.
Into the Spider-Verse.
No, I don't want. That's not what I want every night. I really don't want to talk to him.
I didn't come here for a nerd war.
Listen,
dude. Like,
no, Xeno.
Same BS.
I will address it though. I like my producers put me in check. There was a time where I wanted to talk to as many people as I could. And I still like to talk a lot.
Good idea.
I still want to talk to as many people, but I don't really want to. Honestly, it's just I don't want to talk to Paul. He can make a video about me. Go right ahead. I don't give a crap. I don't care to, because that also I've gone through that whole series of, I've even had Popcorn on my channel. I'm just so over it. I'm not saying that he's necessarily Andy or anything like that either. It's just I just don't want to talk to him. I want to have
Don't
fun.
talk to everybody,
Well,
Mac.
I think
I don't want to have a big,
I don't
have a big debate.
It's like you want to do these streams and you want to have fun on
You're
these
right.
streams. You don't want everything.
Yeah, we just want to
everything
talk
to become
about good stuff.
to become a you know, a nerd wars
Right.
I think
argument.
I'm doing this for my free time. I'm not doing this for a job.
Right.
But I think what it is after the last time, nothing really got resolved. Nobody really really got along.
It will be wasting both of our time.
Saggy, that's the lesson that Max learned the last time. He realized that if you do that, if you bring those kind of people on, it's just going to be one big circle jerk.
Well, it's not just that. It's just nothing gets resolved. Nothing gets resolved.
I keep going through. We're just spinning our wheels like constantly. Like
and
even with
we've talked about this a million times. Like,
I mean, we just talked about we disagree on the barber thing. What are we going to talk about? I don't want to go through Ray Fisher or
it's old news, man. Like,
or I wanted to move on to Marvel, and I don't want to bring up Snyder Cut. But
yeah, you can't always talk to everyone because I love talk. Not that you don't want to.
I'll highlight your comments.
Yeah, I love to talk to people. It's just not everyone. It's not easy. There's usually no reasoning with most people. Like, you never really get anywhere. Like, even if you try to start a nice and civil conversation, like, it just builds up to something worse and chaotic.
Listen, you want to know the honest truth, Paul? There were parts every week where I'm like, I don't even know if I want to come back to YouTube, let alone have like a battle. Like this week, I'm like, I don't even really want to. I mean, the only reason I'm here is I want to talk to friends. Feel free to speak your mind in the chat. I just don't care. I honestly don't care. I think your freedom of speech is a great thing. Say whatever you want on your channel. I might check out one of your videos. I'm not really inclined to speak with you based on our past interactions online. And I mean, it would only really benefit you too. To be really real. There's no benefit of me having you on.
The whole point. And yeah, I did call you a mouthpiece because you're basically saying everything that those two have already said.
Exactly. I've heard all the arguments.
And you keep saying it again. So it's like, dude, whatever, man, you do what you want. But I'm just saying, like, you spout the same talking points.
No, I've heard your talking points before. I'm not saying you're him. I'm not saying you can't think for yourself. It's just I haven't
in the chat. I mean, it's like, whatever, dude. I'm not gonna beat our heads against the wall over.
I think that's over. Right. I think let's move on.
Ridiculous.
This is exactly why I don't want to, because we're already. I wanted to talk about the MCU slate. And I wanted to get Zod's opinion about his MC, and this is exactly why.
We're spending this much time on a comment, and he's not even on the show.
No, do we agree on everything in this? No,
not at all.
Yeah,
listen, Zeno, you're here too. You're my mod. We never agree on everything. All right. Okay, let's get back. See, I'm so off track already, and it's time to end the show. God damn. The chat tonight.
MCU slate.
Yes. Okay. I'm sorry, and I interrupted Zod. You were saying about Spider-Man?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That's the only MCU project in the near future that I'm looking forward to.
And they're probably just going to let us down. Like, there's going to be no Tobey Maguire, no nothing.
I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt, but I was excited about Blade. But what happened was then they announced it's going to be PG-13, and that's just not Blade to me.
I don't want to prejudge it. It can work. I would be happier if they said they're not worried about it, they're just going to make good content and rate it later. Like if they said we're just going to make the film we're going to make, and we decided to have it PG-13 because it didn't have to be R, I'd be okay with that. But I don't like them saying ahead of time. But that could also be these salty sources on the internet saying it's going to be. We haven't got a confirmation for sure. Again, we're falling for the tricks of movie pundits that have all their Patreons and everything up there waiting for. They really have little sources. There's very little there. And the sources that they do have are so biased, and they're actually throwing stuff out there for these little battles in these jobs where they want things to go a certain way, and to see how the audience reacts to see how the fans react.
Comics,
right? There's really little stuff here. It's all just people putting their opinions and bias and spin. We don't actually know for sure it's going to be PG-13. I think it's possible, I'll have to wait and see. I'm open to it. I don't think it actually has to be rated R. I think it can be done under the right, But I agree with you, though, Zod. I foresee if I was going to do it, I'd be like, yeah, R for Blade. But
especially with who they cast as Blade. Mm-hmm. That's the thing. That's why I was so hyped, because I'm like, my God, they got a good actor. So now, as long as they follow the actual mythology and they aren't afraid to make it a mature audience's film, it could be great. But
Rhea asked Blader versus Morbius. What are we looking for?
Now that would be an actual cool movie, Blade versus Morbius, because Morbius is a vampire, and but I don't know. Morbius is probably going to be good because Jared Leto is just
Jared Leto's always playing like some weird, quiet personality. He's always talking very strange and stuff, and that's what I like about him. It's like he is a character. And so it's easy for him to like give a good
because he's why? Because he's into that method acting where he literally becomes the character that he's playing in his films.
Yeah.
Well, look at this slate. This is what MCU is leaps and bounds ahead of DC when it comes to respecting their talent.
DC has no slate. DC has no slate.
No, and fulfilling story arcs. Like we're talking about Black Superman, and we're like, well, what about Cavill? They don't care. They just announce shit. Like, look at all this stuff. Can you imagine? Did you ever imagine? Yeah, we wanted superhero movies. This is stuff I would have never imagined when I was growing up that we would see. WandaVision, Doctor Strange, The Falcon and Winter Soldier, Black Widow's own movie, Loki, What If, Shang-Chi, which I'm really looking forward to, Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel 2, Eternals, Hawkeye, and She-Hulk. It maybe if Jeremy Renner wasn't canceled.
Moon Knight's not even.
Oh yes,
Moon Knight, yes.
And
one of my favorite anti-heroes.
What's your favorite?
What If is going to be an animated thing?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think they should go really. The only thing is, I think they should go really next level and do What If live action. That would be really I'm happy they're doing the animated.
That would mess with people.
Yeah, What If would be way too expensive if it was live action.
Okay. All right. Well, what in Tatiana's is it Maslany for She-Hulk? Oh, I love her. I cannot wait.
I love how they're describing it as like a comedy series. It's gonna be like a comedy, like Law and Order.
Oh, really?
Style show. Yeah, so it's gonna be like 30-minute Law and Order type episodes.
What are you looking forward to the most out of that, everyone? Saggy.
Yo.
She wasn't paying attention.
Saggy's anti-Disney. She will not watch that stuff.
Not anti-Disney. Well, I am anti-Disney.
Well, I know. I'm just teasing.
Who's not anti-Disney? Come on.
I'm just one of those hypocritical anti-Disney ones, I guess.
All right. Well, Brian, you first. What
honestly, I'm looking forward to Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
Okay. Yeah.
Just because one, it's coming. It'll be around the corner here pretty soon. I mean, next year? So I'm looking forward to that.
And implications from WandaVision, possibly.
Yeah, and the other thing I'm looking forward to is Shang-Chi, because I just watched the original Iron Man, and he got, how he got like basically kidnapped by the 10 Rings. So I'm really interested to see how they expand on that. I mean, especially after the disappointment that was the Mandarin. You know what I mean? So I'm looking forward to that whole side of it. Because
I've
always been a fan of like mysticism and like like expanding the story mythos. It's like anytime you had like a Star Wars Rebels episode that dealt with the Force, those are some of my favorite episodes where it's like, where you're dealing with the mystical aspect of it. So that's why I like Doctor Strange and stuff like that. And that's why I like
Resident Justice. Who are you looking forward to? I have an idea based on your icon, but what are you looking forward to the most?
I'm looking pretty much forward to, nothing really. I'm not a big Marvel guy at all. I don't know. No, but...
Hey man, it's the best way going forward, honestly. Less to get disappointed about.
True. No, but seriously, I love the MCU in general. If I had a top 3, I'd probably say Eternals, mostly because of the director. Like, she really fascinates me.
Okay.
And, internally, they're describing this Like there was a report going around that they were talking to like people at Marvel Studios who said we think this is the best movie we've ever made, like from an artistic point of view.
Okay,
so that excites me a lot.
All right,
like, those characters I have like no clue what they are.
What about the Hawkeye and Kate Bishop series?
Well, yeah, I mean that's up there too. Obviously, I mean anyone who's read the Matt Fraction Hawkeye series knows what a phenomenal comic that was. Probably one of the greatest comic books ever written. And like it redefined the Hawkeye character, so I'm excited for that. I mean, and you know, Haley Steinfeld as well. You know, I mean, this has like golden ticket written all over it.
Saggy, you need to find a way to watch these MCU shows.
Yes.
Okay, who wants to buy Disney Plus for me?
Let's get a fight.
Well, I mean, I have a subscription. I can send you the link, I guess.
I ain't paying for it.
Oh wow. All right.
No, my money
you
goes to things.
Save for your California trip.
I gotta save for my Yeah.
One of the saggy simps out there, buy her a Disney Plus subscription.
No, they're Melon members. They're not saggy simps.
Melon members. Okay.
Get it right, Todd. How dare you?
Okay. Well, you could have two. You could have two sides. You could have the saggy simps and the Melon members.
No, I don't. I like Melon members.
Well, why are you laughing at me, Matt Jarbo? I mean, there could be something in Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness. I mean, isn't Scarlet Witch going to be in it?
Yeah, I think it's going to lead. I mean, like I said, we didn't get a Benedict.
Wandavision's going to lead to the Fantastic Four. Okay. Never mind.
Well, the next chapter of the story is Spider-Man: No Way Home. That's the order it's going to go. WandaVision, No Way Home, Multiverse of Madness. And No Way Home is probably the one I'm looking forward to the most. I'm a little hesitant, though, because all the scoopers were saying Charlie Cox's Daredevil is going to be in that one. And I'm like, I don't know if I should believe in that.
There you go.
I think it's going to happen, President Justice.
I think so, but after the WandaVision, so I'm just like, I'm not going to believe
WandaVision is going to lead directly to this right here. You see this? 1960s style Fantastic Four.
It's because Jimmy Woo played Jim in The Office, and that
just means he showed up.
Yeah.
Zantek, how many of these? He said, I know he's a big DCU guy, or DC guy. How many of these movies the MCU slate will have real stories and consequences?
None of them.
WandaVision has some consequences.
Come on.
Reality, none of them. Expectation, all of them. Every second.
When did superhero movies have consequences? Well, except for Infinity War, like that. I think that's the only one that left off with like a cliffhanger.
I love my DC fan side, but this is the go-to thing with the DC Snyder Cut guys. Like MCU has zero consequences.
It's true.
There's problems with consequences, but there are some. There are some.
Well, Peter had a consequence at home.
WandaVision was legit at the end of the season. That's all I'm going to say without spoilers. There were consequences.
Max, I'm telling you, man, if I sit down and I watch this WandaVision and it ends up being utter crap, I'm going to be awfully upset. That's all I'm saying.
Well, make sure you come on my show to yell at me.
Because I'm going to watch
watch it with your wife.
I just finished episode 2.
Did you watch it with your wife or on your own?
Well, it depends. but I'll watch. You know what? But I'll watch episode 3 after the show, and I'll try to get through it. Okay. But it's gonna be hard because I thought those first 2 episodes were total cringe. So I'm gonna try. That's what everybody says. Everybody says, "Well, Zod, once you get to episode 4, it'll be all good." I'm like, okay, we'll see. All right. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt because you guys are the way you guys are talking about it. But I'm telling you, I kept hearing, oh, the Fantastic Four, they're coming. It's going to be the Fantastic Four.
It was Mutants the week before, and then
what was it? What was
Senior
it?
Wolverine's going to be in the finale.
Yeah, Patrick Stewart's coming back.
No,
they kept saying that the rabbit is actually
Hugh Jackman was on the set. All right.
No, there's too many people talking at once. Which gets back to me. Thank you, Jordan, for coming on for your 5-minute question 30 minutes ago. I really know what I'm doing. So if you had any other question, and then we'll say goodbye to you. And then I don't think there's anyone else waiting to come in. I said if you had a question, reach out to me on Twitter. So anything else you wanted to say before you go?
Oh, okay. I just wanted to say, have a great weekend, and I can't wait for the Snyder Cut. Although I do, I don't know how to feel about about Steppenwolf's head. I'm sure it's probably comic accurate, but I wasn't expecting his whole head to be like that. I thought it was just gonna be the helmet, but he still looks cooler than he did in like the 2017 one. So
all right,
I'm okay with it.
Okay, so that's questions for Zod. What do you think about Steppenwolf's head? Is it legit?
Yeah, it's legit.
Yeah, it's legit. Okay. Thanks, Jordan, for coming on. I appreciate you, man. You're feel free to get your question for the next episode. And I don't know what happened to Andrew or some other people, but have a good night there. All right, so thanks, Jordan.
Thanks. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Later.
Oh, okay.
Bye, Jordan. Again. All right. Does anyone have anything else they're working on that they wanted to talk about, or a Resident Justice? Maybe you have a question for the panel you want to think about too. Brian, we want to know when that video is coming up. That epic video.
The thing is more stuff.
Now you have a job.
Yeah, I know. Now I got jobs coming up, but no. What happens is
don't let a career interview with your YouTubing.
Oh no, that's it'll take a back seat. Trust me, but it'll come out eventually. I'm calling it my opus.
It'll take a back seat.
Well, no, basically, it's just I think there's two major factors which led to what we call toxic fandom. One is the monetization of speculation, and the other is the culture war boiling over. And I think over the last few years they've kind of merged, and that's how we get what they call a toxic fandom. So
okay, we're looking forward to that. What's your thoughts on Saggy on toxic fandom and how where the internet is right now? Oh, Matt Jarbo's back. Speaking of toxic,
the king of toxicity.
Hey, I'm not that bad.
No,
but I want to
heard
thank
about
Matt.
it.
He gave me some ideas.
What's that?
Did I apologize when I fart in public?
That's right.
At least you do. Enosh farts on stream and gets full screen for it
all the time.
Where is Enosh? He told me. I'm mad at him.
He's on a road trip.
I know, but he said me and I thought I was going to get a cameo from him and Dawson. Man,
No,
I mean, they drove 9 hours and then they drove back 9 hours.
Yeah, that's legit.
They're probably tired.
Yeah.
Do you think their wives are getting them back, or are they going to be joint to the hip for forever now? Dawson and Enosh, they're like inseparable now.
They're inseparable.
They go together like.
I think they're just. I think they're just gonna forever be on a road trip.
They're never gonna come back.
Is that what we're calling it now? They're gonna get into an RV and move in together, and they're just gonna be friends and roommates.
Brokeback Lounge.
Brokeback Lounge. Oh boy. Oh. I don't know if we could do that joke anymore. Is that allowed? I don't know. Do you allow it, Matt? Do you allow it?
What are you talking to me for?
I don't know.
I've already been canceled, Max. You can't cancel me again.
Yes, you can.
Well, what do you think about what Reyes says here? I hope more Wanda and anti-hero wild card with ambiguous morals. Yes, yeah. I enjoyed that.
That's for sure.
I think so. What you're saying, Max, is like you said. I don't know if WandaVision is going to lead into Doctor Strange.
Okay.
That's what I meant by that. Is clearly the second end credit sequence is going to, absolutely tie into a number of things going forward in the next couple years. So that's going to be pretty great. Because they basically just said with that whole thing that Ghost Rider's on the horizon.
Yeah. I got my mask over there.
And it's on the horizon.
Ghost Rider and Doctor Doom.
Mm-hmm. Well, so there's a lot, Kevin Feige is really good at giving people what they want in unique ways.
Hey, Matt, can I ask for a video topic for you to make? It's about DC. It's about Snyder Cut, guys. Like my pal Zod here saying MCU has no stakes whatsoever. Is that true?
Yes and no, to be honest with you.
Okay.
So to give a quick overview of it,
Okay.
Feige did say that the deaths in Infinity War and Endgame were going to be permanent. And all things considered, he wasn't lying, because Loki did die, but the Loki we saw was an alternative version of Loki, an alternate timeline Loki. Vision did die, but they brought him back by re-energizing his corpse with Wanda's chaos magic. So it's like there's that. So those two characters clearly came back in different ways, but their main character is still dead. So it's like, Feige is going to live up to that whole idea of no one ever truly dies in the comics. Unfortunately, Warner Brothers lives up to the idea of no franchise truly ever lives in our universe. So because they don't, they're just not going to let anything live. They're just going to let it all die. It's true.
I still see a path forward, but it has to be HBO Max. It just has to be.
I agree. It's like, it's got to be HBO Max, and they've got to just give Zach a blank check to do it 100%. But
I still wish that Zach, he's so malleable, and he embraces the new streaming focused content, and he's ahead of the game. He's also the head of the game how you handle social media now. I mean, his fan base has grown just because of his interactions. This is the way to do it, to get things done. You have so much pull now when you have a huge fan base that's not toxic. It's just they're going to ask for what they want, and they're going to engage with what you want positively. So he's ahead of the game there, but you always give the options to the consumer. And I do think that aspect ratio is not a problem for me. It's not a problem for me, but I see it everywhere outside of our bubble. Everyone, all my friends that I've said, watch the Snyder Cut. They're like, really? It's in that aspect, right? Every single one. And you tell them you're getting more image. I think it would be more successful if you gave people the option, if you had both. If you only had one, I would say do not cut it down. But I just think that's a lost opportunity. It might have actually delayed the release too, because they have to, modify, which the aspect ratio. I just know the general audiences are gonna be like, and especially the ones around the world that pay for it, that don't have it on the HBO Max, are like, my screen's cut off. You don't know how.
I just got a 55-inch, and so it's gonna look fine on the 55-inch, and that because WandaVision's first 2 episodes were in the same aspect ratio.
Yeah.
So, and that looked fine. It looked great. It was like watching an old 1950s sitcom that I grew up with watching on Nick at Night.
Watching Leave It to Beaver or I Love Lucy.
And I loved it. I freaking loved those first couple episodes.
My only problem with that was that those old shows, Leave It to Beaver and I Love Lucy, were better shows.
Well, they also had multiple seasons of just 2 episodes.
Yeah,
that were setting up.
But I mean, I know the whole 50s aesthetic.
It was. I loved it personally. I would have loved if they would have done an actual WandaVision show that was shot like that, set like that. I think that'd be great. But I loved how they went through everything, and they gave us something good. And it's again, as I said this before, and I know Brian will back me up on this one. The show is about catharsis. It's about grief. It's about dealing with tragedy and post-traumatic stress disorder and how we act out. And the show, it continuously, episode 4's introduction is a prime example of that. It's a prime example of how intense things were and what, one character is going through and everything else. The show, you know what? I'm glad it wasn't binging, but you could binge it now and get a good idea for what they were going for.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna binge just for you guys.
It's short.
This is the show that answers the criticism that says there's no risks or anything in MCU filmmaking. I think there are possible more risks in the shows.
Yeah, this is Marvel's riskiest venture because it goes from being funny to being terrifying to being intense to being heartfelt to being dramatic. I mean, dude, you get to the series finale. And the aftermath of the series finale, when they're walking home, and you know what's coming, and that whole next exchange, there's a part where literally, and I don't want to spoil it, but Wanda says something.
Yeah,
she says something that it's I know so many parents who have said that to their kids, knowing what's going to happen, And I was watching that, and I was like, my heart was breaking as I was watching that, because I could only imagine, like, in that moment, saying that to my daughters. You know what I mean? And so it's like the way that they built the show is just such a good storytelling approach that people were freaking out because, and this is the best. I actually just got a double order I got to get to, but the thing is the way we look at Marvel content is it's fractured piece by piece. It's sprinkled throughout a phase, right? And so we have to wait 3, 4, 5, 6 months in between each individual dose. Now we had one every single week for 8 weeks. So people were just completely diving in and over analyzing and over speculating. And they did that because they loved it. And so anyone who was saying in 2020 that the MCU is dead, no one cares past Endgame, yeah, they're full of shit. They're full of shit.
Yep.
A lot of people. You should make that video.
I should make that video because, I mean, the WandaVision is the most popular show in the world.
Yes.
You know, and so it's like
I thought that was Mandalorian. Oh.
It took over Mandalorian. It took over Mando for the time being.
My wife, and again, not spoilers, but she's like, I think this is limited series and that's it. There's not going to be a second series. Yeah. That was our most upsetting thing. Like, I want to see her in the MCU movies, but I want to see another series.
What you got to realize though is that it's like WandaVision, the show.
Yeah,
that's over.
Yeah,
that doesn't mean that Wanda's not coming back. She immediately, like, they wrapped up filming in November of last year.
Okay,
they ended production November of last year. That shows you how fast the turnaround was for getting these episodes out. She immediately flew to London to start filming Doctor Strange 2. So right now they're filming Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, and Thor in different parts of the world. So, you know, like, Marvel is back into full force and everything else, and everything's tying into each other. So
Christopher Barr, this is actually a good comment here. What I don't get is Star Wars has 11 shows and films. People say it's too much, yet MCU announces 25 shows and films, and everyone's like, this is fine. WTF. Yes, because they tie everything together, and they actually complete most of what they say they're going to do. DC and Star Wars still, even though The Mandalorian's a success, I still don't have confidence that all these shows and movies are going to happen. Still, and I'm not even talking about Rian Johnson's damn trilogy. It's never going to see the light of day. I'm sorry. I'm saying all these other things where they announce it, I still don't know half of them are going to come to fruition. I still don't.
I don't know. I have a
little bit more. They're going to happen. They're going to happen. But I got to run.
Look like they're connecting.
Okay, what'd you say, Resident Justice?
No, I was just saying, like, at least with the Disney Plus stuff, I feel like it is connecting because they're emphasizing, hey, the Ahsoka show, Rangers of the New Republic, they're building a storyline that's going to connect with Mandalorian in, like, season 3 and beyond.
Yeah, it still remains.
Connect.
They've had one hit with one series so far. The movies haven't been successful connecting everything, even if you like them or not. It remains to be seen if they're going to actually execute on all these shows. I think Ahsoka's going to happen. I don't know. We'll wait and see.
How long have we been waiting for Obi-Wan?
Yeah,
we've been talking about it for 3 goddamn years by now.
Right, so that's why people are like, MCU announces 25 things, and everyone. It's the confidence thing. DC, if WB just showed a little confidence in their talent, in their characters, in their actors. That gets more people to come to buy tickets when you show confidence.
WB just embraced the Snyderverse
instead of being reactionary. Instead of saying like, "Oh, people don't like Batman v Superman. Let's wait to announce our next slate." No, they say, you know what? We'll do better in Justice League 2 and make Justice League 2, and that was all on them.
You know,
say we're going DC forward,
especially right now, though.
What?
Ever since the bell was rung at that exhibit, now the fans are gonna have something to compare it to. If DC goes in opposite direction, they're gonna be like, "We're getting this, but we could have gotten this." If that makes sense.
Oh, yeah, that's a good topic. You did tell me. I forgot about this. You told me about this earlier. Thanks, Resident Justice, about them trying to take down an exhibit. This is interesting for Zod. I don't know if you heard about this, Zod.
I heard about it, but I didn't read the read the article.
Yeah,
right, so this will be the final topic.
The storyboards because they might spoil a little bit, but just the overall concept.
Okay, but this will be our final topic for Movie Madness Entertainment Live tonight. Resident Justice sent this to me. They are trying to stop an exhibit that shows what Zach was planning. They don't want Zach's never going to stop talking about what he's planning if he doesn't even. It's safe for sake for to be devil's advocate. If it doesn't happen and WB just never lets him continue, you think he's not going to stop talking about what he would want to do?
Oh no, not at all. He's
them trying to shut down an exhibit with storyboards. See, WB is shutting it down. Whatever this exhibit, I didn't even know about this.
Yeah, it has a bunch of the costumes from the Snyder Cut, and it has like detailed storyboards where Zach wrote out in marker like storyline for just like 2 and 3, with Jim Lee artwork accompanying it to illustrate what it was going to look like.
Right. So the reason why WB is shutting it down is because WB knows that the Snyder Cut's going to be a hit because they've been trying to destroy it, and now they know it's going to be a massive hit. So they're obviously AT&T is going to green light it. So they don't want those spoilers out there.
Mm. All right, so
That's
that was a
actually
good
perspective on it because I didn't think about that actually. I thought it was more so they're shutting it down because they don't want people talking about it.
No, it's just what they've constantly been doing. It's something positive will come out with the Snyder Cut, and then the next day or later that day, Warner Brothers will come out with a different casting of Supergirl. You know what I mean? So it's just I don't care
par
anymore.
for the course.
Yeah. You just smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave.
That junk man. Oh, I'm glad we were kept going. All right, hold on.
Way. I agree. I do not agree with that whatsoever. Rise of Skywalker.
An exclusive. Enosh and Dawson.
Ooh, the lights are out.
Hello.
Yo.
Hello.
Hey.
Yeah.
You guys got a sleeping bag over there?
We're in a car.
Well, I mean, you could be pulled over and.
What a crew that is! Wow, you need to film. You need like a whole movie road
This is
trip.
awesome.
Good job, guys.
We're inside of a Matt Jarbo movie.
Oh my God!
Oh, look at how cute they look.
That's so great.
Are you moving into the lounge, Dawson? This is everyone wants to know. Are you just moving in with Enosh?
No,
bringing the wife, everything.
I wouldn't do that to my wife. I wouldn't do that to my wife.
Yeah,
especially now, my wife actually really destroyed her ankle the other day, like in volleyball.
Oh.
So but she looks good in shorts. She does. But that's this man. She does. But like, so yeah, no, I couldn't do that to my wife. I couldn't do that.
Okay. You have so much fun.
We're right now we're practicing. We're practicing for our remake of a Bohemian Rhapsody video.
Oh, yes.
Oh my God.
Life. This is just fantasy.
Oh Lord.
Caught in a landslide. No escape from reality. Open your eyes.
They've been with each other so long, they're actually harmonizing. Oh no.
Wow.
I'm just a poor boy.
We're gaining viewers.
No sympathy, 'cause I'm easy come, easy go, little high, little low. Anyway, the wind blows doesn't really matter to me.
You know what's good is Bohemian Polka.
That was amazing. That was amazing.
Mama just killed a squirrel. Put a tire against it.
Oh, I don't like that.
Yeah, we cannot be promoting animal cruelty
Over
here.
now he's dead.
I just watched
Life has
Ulysses.
just begun. Now I've gone and squashed out all his brains.
Ew. What the hell?
That's pretty violent.
I love how he put a cowboy hat on after all the jokes I
Won't
made.
be back again this time tomorrow, 'cause he's dead.
Oh wow.
your mod is speaking. Okay, turn it off.
You like my cowboy hat?
Yeah.
I love that.
Might have found their text.
Did you see WandaVision?
They didn't have time to watch WandaVision. They've been on the road.
Yeah.
I don't know if you watched it.
No, we watched it at the hotel last night at about 4 in the morning.
Oh wow, was it amazing?
It's good as good. Yeah.
No, hot take Dawson. Hot.
It was a little bit. It was a mixed bag for me. I liked some things, but like I felt like the series finale really was underwhelming for me. But I was right. Hero was nobody.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was right.
Ralph Boner.
They Last Jedi to us, man.
Well, but you guys can end the show. Thanks for showing up. I have one final topic. This was the main topic of the show tonight. Let's get Enosh and Dawson's. Are we in another golden age of entertainment? If you wouldn't know from the internet and YouTubers and Twitter and social media, does everything really suck, or is this one of the best eras of entertainment?
I think it's definitely one of the best eras of entertainment. I just feel like the fans ruin their own experience. I feel like fans ruin their experience by putting too much hype into something and putting their own look. We were just talking about this with a lady from the Superman Museum today. Yeah. Right? And is the fact that we've gotten to a point in fandoms where people now expect certain things, right? Mm-hmm. And they project their own feelings because it used to be that it wasn't cool to like these things. It wasn't cool to like Superman. It wasn't cool to like comic books and Star Wars. I mean, I remember fighting my friend because I wanted to watch. I had a friend who had a copy of Return of the Jedi at his house, and he never wanted to watch it because he didn't like Star Wars, but I still did. So all this nerd culture stuff is very fresh still, right? We're now all of a sudden all the jocks are into nerd stuff, right? Like everybody's into nerd stuff. Girls put on a pair of glasses and they're like, "Oh, look how nerdy I am," right? And it's like, no, that's not what nerddom is. But okay, whatever. You still look cute, fine.
Thanks, Big Bang Theory. Oh.
You're welcome. Yeah, exactly. But that's the thing. So unfortunately, fans now they're more sophisticated. They have a deeper knowledge of this stuff because we're consuming more of it. And so now we put our own spin on stuff, and we expect certain things, and we expect stories to end in a certain way, And I mean, look, last night's Wandavision was a prime example of this, in the fact that fans were convinced these characters were going to show up. This thing was going to happen. It was going to kick off the next wave of Marvel. It was going to do all this crazy stuff, and it didn't happen. Then we want to blame the thing, right? And instead of realizing, we may have gotten off here, and we just kind of went off on our own tangent. No, now we blame the thing, right? And it's not the thing, and it's not the company that did it. It's none of that we have to blame. We have ourselves to blame because we hype ourselves up, and we convince ourselves that things are one way when they never were.
And I think it's also a combination of things. I think it's a combination.
No, it's not. What's that?
Well, with what you said, it's a combination of other things as well. Because it's all that plays a big role.
Yes. Yeah.
People really rely on a lot of things back in the day as really high quality. When you back in fact compared to today, if you watch them side by side, we live in an age where within a couple of years we can have Thanos and Darkseid on the big screen, which 20 years ago was unimaginable. You couldn't do that.
Yeah.
We're not able to do that successfully without someone being in some big foam suit or something, right? You just couldn't do it successfully, but now you can. You can have those things. So a lot of it has to do with nostalgia, people playing on past and not letting those newer things be seen as superior in a way. And you also have just talking about fans hyping up and everything like that. And I think also it has to do with us fans. We're spoiled. Yeah. I said before, within a couple of years we get Thanos Darkseid on the silver screen at basically the same time, and we should have gotten everything back on it.
And Kong and Godzilla. And Luke Skywalker back in Mandalorian.
Exactly.
And Vision versus Vision.
Happening in nerddom. Yeah, you have all these things that are happening in nerddom. That you you wouldn't have
cats and dogs living together.
mass hysteria, where we're so spoiled, where we look for every single tiny little thing to nitpick, and then we see it as a massive flaw that ruins the entire thing. That's the thing, is that we have grown as a society to see one flaw in a movie and then consider the rest of the movie bad just because of one small thing.
Yep.
We're not able to push back that movie to tiny flaws here and there. No movie is perfect.
And it's not going to be what you want. We just literally stopped a stream we were just doing right now, and him and I disagreed about something. But like I shared the fact that like, look, when it comes to some of the storyboards that came today for Justice League 2 and 3, I have a fundamental disagreement with the idea of Batman getting together with Lois Lane after Superman passing away. That rubs me the wrong way. I don't want, but I will say this. Am I going to hate a Justice League 2 and 3 if that happens? No. Will it bug me? Yeah, but you know what? I just need to get over it because I'm a fan. I want to be told the story. I keep saying this over and over again. We've gotten to a point where we don't want to be told the story anymore. We want to tell the story. We want to control the narrative. We want to control the narrative. Well, if you want to tell the story, if you want to control the narrative, it's one of the reasons why, honestly, it really bugs me when I hear all these people come out and they're like, oh, well, I re-sliced this together, and I recut this together, and I made my own version of this. Well, that's great, but you know what? It doesn't mean you improved it. It just means you made your own thing. Enjoy it, I guess. Be happy with it.
Amen.
You know what? The reality is I would rather just be told the story and have my own head, my own thoughts, my own opinions about it, but I don't have to recut it and try to present it to everybody that I fixed something that didn't need fixing to begin with because it wasn't my place to fix it.
Right.
My fan fiction is not going to fix everything for everybody.
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
Well, thanks for.
I'm passionate about that.
Can we give them a standing ovation because that was like an amazing.
That's a good place. And that's a good place to end the show. Can Dawson and Enosh end movie madness tonight? Can you end us? Say goodnight, everyone.
That's awesome.
8 hours in the car does.
Good night, everyone.
Car, man.
We got a cameo from the dudes on the road trip. Seriously, that was awesome. Thanks everyone for watching. We'll see you next time. I don't want my streams to go too long, and I gotta watch some more content. Bye, everyone.
Good night, everybody.